just saw was not an app. It's something called Super 8, and I thought I'd bring you guys through everything from buying a camera to developing, scanning, and then editing Super 8 film. So what is Super 8? Super 8 film is a motion picture film that was initially created in 1965 but was used for like at-home movies. The first question you may have is, where do I get a Super 8 camera? Well, there's actually a ton of places to get Super 8 cameras. You could start in your local used camera store, just a camera store anywhere. They usually have a used department. And then you can go online to places like eBay, Etsy, Amazon. Those are all three really good places. I got my Super 8 camera on Etsy from a user there, but I'll link stuff down below in the description so you guys know exactly where I got my stuff. For a lot of you guys who are getting into it, a Canon 314 XL or a Canon 514 XL are both really good entry-level Super 8 cameras. I use the 314 XL and it's done wonders for me commercially and then also just shooting around with my friends. Today I went to Adorama Camera and picked up two cartridges, one 50D and one 500T. Let me just tell you a little bit about what the numbers and letters mean. So the higher the number, the more light sensitive it is. So the 500T cartridge is better for night shooting, while the 50D cartridge is better for daylight shooting. Once you have the film, there's two things that you've got to remember, and that's that one cartridge only garners about 3.5 minutes of digital footage time when it's scanned in. And the second thing is price. Each cartridge is about $35. The last step in this whole process is the developing, scanning, and getting a digital file back after you've sent it out. I scan my film at CineLab in Massachusetts. I live in New York City, so basically if you're sending stuff in remotely, you're gonna have to fill out a form. But then when you get lower in the sheet, there's tons of options between what resolution you wanna get it scanned in. Do you want it as an overscan? Or do you want best light or log? Or do you want it scene to scene color corrected? Those are decisions that you have to make, but I'm just gonna tell you what those are. So what is an overscan? An overscan is where you can see the entire negative, including the sprocket. And the sprocket is the little hole on the left side of the film that advances the motion picture film as you hold down the trigger on a Super 8. If you don't get it overscanned, you're just going to get what you're actually shooting. So the actual image, not the entire negative. Depending on if you go with an overscan or not an overscan should also result in what resolution you're scanning it in. If you're doing an overscan, a 4K overscan will give you enough room to be able to scale in and crop in to get the full frame without the film edges and the sprocket. If it's not for like a commercial use and it's just for films with your friends, 1080p is also great. Your last decision you have to make is, do you want it scene to scene color corrected, or do you want it best light or log? Best light and log is the same thing. It's very flat image that gives you a ton of room in post to color correct or color grade. I personally get all of my stuff overscanned in best light at 4K. It gives me as much flexibility in post. Now, if you don't have much video editing experience, then I would definitely go with scene to scene color correcting because the lab will give you the best color. A quick little technical point is that the 314 XL and the 514 XL, they record video at 18 frames per second, but most labs will scan your footage in at 24 frames per second. So sometimes you'll see that you'll get your footage back and it looks sped up a little bit. That's because it's recorded at a faster FPS. There's a really quick fix on that, and that's just to slow your footage down 25%. So if it's at 100%, you slow it down to 75%. So thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing and follow me on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you want to find me. But thank you so much, guys. That's it. Peace.